Alright, Lantis, so today over on Bleach Residence, we are here to answer the question, what character is better on your account right now if you are in a situation where you have to pick between SSR Ichigo or SSR Toshiro? That is a question that I've been asked a lot in the comment section. At least right now, in my opinion, short term, I think Toshiro is going to be much beneficial for most people's accounts, and it's strictly due to the typing this character does have. Remember, we do have confirmation on when Toshiro is going to be releasing. He will be releasing exactly on the 5th of December. And when Toshiro does leave, that's exactly when Ichigo is leaving. So once Ichigo is gone, he is going to be gone for potentially a few months. We have no idea how the rerun system is going to work on this banner. Well, on that topic, of course, keep in mind your pity does transfer over. So if you are currently on like 60 out of 80, or however many summons that you have done, and maybe you don't get Ichigo by the time his banner does leave, you will be closer to getting Toshiro when he does release. But right now, the big thing you should be asking yourself is, one, what character do you prefer more? Are you more of a fan of Ichigo? Then summon for Ichigo. Continue summon for Ichigo. If you are more of a fan of Toshiro, which you can test him out in Chapter 7, so you actually get to try out the character early before Ichigo does leave, which is a pretty good situation to be in. Very rarely, I think, are we going to be in a situation like that, where you can pretty much try out the next character before they do release. So use those next couple of days to decide which character do you want more, but right now I think for most people accounts, Toshiro is going to offer a bit more value, and this strictly comes down to the typing of the unit. Ichigo right now is the full assault / type unit, one of the best characters in the game, and in an ideal situation, I would recommend going for both characters, which is why I ultimately recommended rerolling, even though it is quite tedious. I do have a reroll guide on the channel. And even though I've spent money on this game thus far, the plan was still to always summon for Ichigo on the free summons that we do get. Once I get Ichigo, I then pull for his weapon, and every summon ticket, every Jade that I do get over the course of these next 2 weeks is being saved for Toshiro. That way you can get 2 limited character SSRs in a way for the price of 1. Unfortunately, as it is, some people, if you don't reroll, are going to have to go all the way to 80th summon to get the limited character. So ideally, you do want to get both, but right now, again, the advantage that Toshiro does have is the fact that he is a spirit type unit. When it comes to slash type units, you do have access to Kisuke and also Byakuya, a really good god tier support unit and a really good sub DPS character. So with that particular team, Byakuya and also Kisuke, again, while it's not ideal, you can maybe make this Ichigo work for your current full assault unit for the time being. Of course, he's nowhere nearly as good as, Bankai Ichigo, but with 2 other good supports in the team, you can get by with that particular slash team, especially if, of course, you do get duplicates of the character where he does get better. In particular, I would say the first and second dupe for SR Ichigo is actually pretty good, as you do deal more damage when you are under half HP. And once you do activate your spiritual power release, which is the main way this character can deal damage, you then deal 35% more damage. If you are someone that is maybe going to miss out on Toshiro, you are going to struggle a lot more in spirit type content because we only have access to 3 characters right now, that being Rukia. She's more of a tactical sub DPS unit. We have Orihime, a support unit. Doesn't necessarily have to be in spirit type teams, but she is a good support. And then you also have Ururu, who is a full assault unit. In a way, Toshiro is replacing the need for this character. So when I compare both teams that are missing the premium full assault unit, I would say the slasher team is a lot better with SR Ichigo, Byakuya, and also Kisuke. Whereas the spirit team is going to definitely struggle a lot more, because you're pretty much only going to be using Kisuke and also Rukia, and then maybe have to rely on Ururu as your full assault unit. So that in a way is why Toshiro's release is quite a big deal for this game, because they don't have access to any other good options. And of course, that's going to be beneficial in challenge type content where you might have to go up against a spirit type boss. And if you do care about rankings, again, ideally you want to have both of them, which you can still do if you want to reroll. But if there's ever spirit type content, Toshiro teams are going to have a significantly bigger advantage. But also when it comes to trial towers, right? Once you do complete the first 5 towers, you then get access to the, typing specific ones where you want to bring a team full of slashers, strike unit, spirit, and also thrust. If you do want to get through this as far as you can, as fast as you can, Toshiro again is going to be a must-have for you. But in a way, you don't need to rush through this. You can take your time, as the rewards that you do get here are permanent. So if you do miss out on Toshiro and you're waiting for that next spirit type SSR full assault unit, which we have no idea when that's going to be, technically, as far as trial rewards are concerned, you aren't missing out on much. So you don't need to rush through this just for the idea of pulling Toshiro. So you don't need to pull Toshiro for the idea of using him in this content with the assumption that you might be missing out on rewards. At least as far as this game mode is concerned, all the rewards are permanent. Keep in mind too, we also do have access to 3 different roles per typing. So we have a full assault, a support, and a tactical slash sub DPS unit in the typing of slash, thrust, strike, and also spirit. So if you do miss out on Toshiro, it might again not be too long before we do get a new unit, and that's more so in regards to if you don't like Toshiro as a character. Maybe you don't like Toshiro in general, maybe you want to save for the next spirit type character, well, you definitely can do that, and of course they will still help out your account. And also, while on the topic, if your idea is to skip Ichigo and go for Toshiro, keep in mind, I would assume at the very least Kenpachi is going to be one of our next character releases. He, after all, was one of the few characters that has been playable in the beta, and I'm assuming the character's role and typing doesn't change, he should also be another slash type full assault unit, in a way, technically replacing Bankai Ichigo. I don't like to use the word replacing, ultimately summon for your favorite characters, but there is a chance that Ichigo's replacement or an additional character that you can use in exchange for him is going to be here much sooner than we are going to get a potential full assault spirit type unit after Toshiro. I would say though, at least for me, short term, I do want to try and build a team in every typing. So right now, again, we have the main DPS characters that I want. Still missing Ikaku, but I have Ichigo covering me for full assault. Kisuke is going to go in every team as the go-to support unit. Yoruichi is my go-to full assault strike unit once I, of course, can build her up. And Karame right now is a great character to have for thrust type teams. So right now, I have something in each typing. I'm just waiting for Toshiro for that spirit typing. I am missing Ikaku, and also Sergeant are characters I do want to pull. And also Byakuya. Again, I want to get all available SSRs. But at least based on the leaks that we did get, maybe I can go without Ikaku with the assumption that Gin is going to be our next full assault thrust unit, where in that case I can use Gin, I can use Kisuke, and then I can also use Kaname if that is the go-to team for him. But again, ideally you do want to get every available SSR, and you will over time. Also, because Toshiro was available in the beta, we do know some events are coming our way where we can get a lot of free summon tickets, including summoning for Toshiro. So if you are someone that wants to guarantee Ichigo, you can do that right now before the banner does leave, and just rely on the currency that we are going to get in the next 2 weeks after Toshiro releases to try your luck and get him from there. Overall, I think Ichigo is a better character. I think Toshiro is better for our teams right now because we do lack spirit type full assault units. You can maybe go with our Ichigo, although ideally you do want him, because the slasher team does have access to some pretty good supports, which you really can't say the same, at least on the same playing field, as far as the best spirit type team is concerned. But once more, ideally you do want both of the characters, so if you can do that, definitely try and go for it, which you can still do right now by re-rolling. Especially if you are spending money. All that money you might spend on getting Ichigo could have been spent on getting Toshiro, which is exactly what I did. But in the comments below, let me know a character you're most excited for, Ichigo or Toshiro. For me, it's definitely Toshiro, mostly because I have access to Ichigo, and I've been using him over the last couple of so years on the beta test. Haven't really had my chance to delve and play with Toshiro as much as I'd want to. So I'm definitely excited for his release, especially for the fact that he is a spirit type full assault unit. In regards to Ichigo, another amazing unit, but maybe again a unit you can go without for the time being if your plan is to definitely summon for Kenpachi, who for the most part, based on the beta test, should be a slash type full assault unit, technically replacing Ichigo. Let me know your summon plan in the comments below though, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.